Hello and welcome to Spreading Light Nonviolence, a video series about nonviolent actions, topics, and so much more. Here, we will talk about how to bring nonviolence into our lives and honor the nonviolent activists who have come before us. I'm Savanna Holden, working with Bene's Changemaker Youth Grants, and I hope you enjoy. Hello. Welcome to episode 9. Today we're going to talk about militant nonviolence. So we are going to be talking about Ceasar Chavez, and we're going to open with a quote by him. In some cases, nonviolence requires more militancy than violence does. Meaning, sometimes nonviolence is more disciplined and more organized than violence is. And so, Ceasar Chavez was the Mexican-American labor leader and civil rights activist. Ceasar Chavez dedicated his life work to what he called La Causa, the cause, the struggle of farm workers in the United States to improve their working and living conditions. Through organizing and negotiation contracts with their employers. Committed to the tactics of nonviolence resistance practiced by Muhammad Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., Ceasar Chavez founded the National Farm Workers Association, later the United Farm Workers of America, and won important victories to raise pay and improve working conditions for farm workers in the late 1960s and 1970s. And so this is another form of nonviolence. And how we talked about in the peaceful resistances is when you put violence aside and instead you choose to help the cause in a nonviolent way, that's peaceful resistance. Instead of telling them stop and no, negotiating, talking about it. And so militant nonviolence is another form of nonviolence. There's loads of different forms of nonviolence. This particular one was created, I don't know how to describe it, maybe created by Martin Luther King Jr., and the most important part that he talked about it was that militant nonviolence was more about how if you have a whole group of people doing it, it'll be much more powerful than one person. And there's lots of different aspects and disciplines to militant nonviolence, but that was one of the most important ones. Organizing and like almost discipline, but then also the people power. And that goes along with our peaceful resistance, where there are so many more ways to resist something than with violence. And it's hard to rewind our brains and think about it in a different way than what we were raised or what we learned, but it is so important because when you come up to someone and they are all worked up or angry or mad at you or someone else, and you're angry back, that helps with nothing. And so the de-escalation and the almost, I don't think that's peaceful resistance, but the de-escalation is a big, important part in peaceful resistance. But when you come to them with an open hand and you say, like, tell me about it, and come with your two hands of nonviolence and your openness to hear their story and what they have to say.